friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really exciting video planned for you. It's a real talk video all about what it's like to actually be an international model, the life of the rich and famous. I mean, I'm only going off of what it is that I've endured since being in Istanbul for 4 weeks and what it is that I've encountered. Everybody who's modeled is going to have a different experience, but yeah, I'm obviously just going off of what it is that I've seen, what I've witnessed since being here, and just sort of I've broken up the video into about 4 sections, and I'm going to talk about the pros and cons that I think come with traveling and working internationally. But I've been really excited to actually sit down and do this because I feel like it's really interesting. There's this really there's this idea of working as a model where life just seems perfect. Like, you know, you're paid to go on these beautiful excursions and escapades, oh my god, where you get to go on all of these, you know, hotels will pay for your accommodation, you'll go and then you'll get your hair and your makeup done. It just seems so luxurious, and you know, everybody is like at your beck and call and literally like bowing down to you, and like, in all honesty, in the real world, that's not how it works at all. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like this experience has been a lot different and very challenging to how I had imagined it to be in my head. Like, obviously I've heard like horror stories and I've heard things from my agent and other girls about what it is like living and working every day as a model in, you know, a foreign country, living with people that you don't know. But yeah, I'll get into it a little bit more. I have a script written here of things that I want to touch on, but yeah, I mean, like, let's talk about the nitty-gritty stuff, the contracts, all the paperwork that you need to sign and go over before you actually start working as a model. At first, when my mother agent had talked to me about going to Turkey, she made it seem like the possibilities were endless here. I would get here, I would be working non-stop every single day, really building my book, and I wouldn't be short of getting jobs. Pretty much that's what she had said, that Toronto was so closed, like with COVID, it had been so closed off from everything and there were no jobs in Toronto, so Turkey was honestly my best bet. And from a really young age, I had said that I wanted to travel and model. That was my dream. So as soon as this opportunity came around, I was like, okay, I'll do whatever I have to do in order to make this work. So yeah, it's not like they were empty promises. It's just I remember her really talking it up and hyping it up, I think, to hook me in and reel me in, to make it seem like it was going to be this like amazing, you know, opportunity. So when it comes to contracts, I honestly don't even recall a contract coming my way, and I think that should have been my first order of business. So this is a tip for anybody. If you're like under the age of 18, obviously make sure your parents or a guardian or something is involved in this process, but read the fine print, make sure you get a contract, go through every single line and write down any questions that you may have, and make sure you ask that to not only your agent, but make sure that the agency that you are going to be signing with, you know, internationally, there's no questions. Like, everything is very yeah, there's no gray area, I guess I can say. So yeah, read the fine print, but honestly everything was just happening so fast. I had been asked if I wanted to go do this in June, and I was going to be flying out in July, which is like less than a month, and it was all just happening really quickly, and I had done a really good job of writing out my questions and things that I wanted to talk to my agent about, but you can't plan for everything, and there's just a lot of like little things that I realized when I got here hadn't been discussed, and there was not really too much I could do about it. only later to find out that I had like a daily living expense here, $25 on the apartment. I needed to pay for transportation to like my driver every single day, or not every day, I forget how much it is. That there's a weekly allowance, and if I were to accept the allowance, I wouldn't pay that back at the end of the contract. I had to pay for comp cards on my book, so like a lot of added expenses that I didn't really have any ideas about. I felt like I was kind of led to believe one thing, and everything kind of was sugar-coated a little bit, in order to spark my interest and reel me in. I haven't signed the contract, and I also didn't get my comp cards until like almost 3 weeks into all of this. So when I was headed to castings and I had my book with my photos, that was great, but then when they wanted my set card or my comp card to hold on to, I didn't have, which was kind of frustrating. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the contract piece of it. It's really difficult, especially being in a foreign country where the agency that I'm with, their English isn't always the best, so it's a lot of back and forth, and it can be hard to get a solid or true answer. But I'm gonna move on to the housing situation and what it's like to actually live in model apartments, because what I had imagined at first was I would be thrown into a mix of these rambunctious girls who maybe like to party a little bit too much, drink, smoke, maybe struggled a lot with body image and didn't always have maybe the healthiest of diets, or like complete opposite, maybe they were gym rats and they love to work out, eat really clean. I didn't know. There's just like, I feel like those are the two sorts of models. When I think of models, I think of like the girl who, or guy or whoever, takes really good care of themselves, super healthy, hits the gym every single day, wants to stay in really great shape, and then the other model who uses drugs, alcohol, maybe doesn't have the best diet to keep like a certain figure. So I didn't know what I would be getting myself into. But honestly, I am so grateful to be living with the girls that I'm living with now. I think that we're all so different in our own ways, and we don't like try to compete with one another. Honestly, we're each other's like biggest cheerleader. Like, I support them 100%, and every single time they come and tell me that they've been booked for something, I'm over the moon excited for them. Yeah, I don't I have nothing, like I want nothing but the best for them, and I've been really lucky that I've been able to get along with them so well. Like, we go out, we do fun things, but I don't know, before coming into this, I told myself, like, Erin, you're pretty low maintenance, you're pretty easy to get along with, considering you had moved to Toronto. You're living with a girl that you hadn't even known before, and things turned out really well. I'm sure things will work out for you when you move to Turkey. And yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. We all get along really, really well. I have my own room, so I'm really happy. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of an age difference. Some of the girls are like 17, 18, 19, 20. One of the girls is like 26. I'm 23, so I'm kind of in the middle. And what else? I'd really like to learn about their culture, their language, where they're from, what like their family life is like, and yeah, it's been really fun getting to know them, and it's nice to like think about, if I ever go to Russia, like maybe I'll visit Diana, or if I ever go to Poland, I'll see Katia, or if I ever go to Hungary, I'll see Melinda. Like, it's really cute. And last thing I'll say is I feel like model housing it reminds me a lot of student housing all over again, just close quarters. Our appliances aren't the greatest, like don't even have like fresh drinking water. I need to drink it out of a water bottle, and one bathroom to share, you know what I mean? So it's not ideal, but it definitely does the job. And we're about 10 minutes in, so next thing I'll talk about is castings and jobs. witch. If you've ever seen an episode of America's Next Top Model, you might recall the clips of the models going on go-sees, which are like castings and fittings. It usually shows the models like being piled in the car, driving all over the city, meeting with designers, taking pictures, showing the client your runway walk, or yeah, taking pictures, showing the client your runway walk, trying on clothes, things like that.
Congratulations, you three. You've really shown that you're true professionals and you know the importance of being on time.
I was late for 30 seconds.
I asked my cab driver to meet me on Cooper Street and he didn't show up. I made it to 5. I have a cab driver that didn't. It's okay. It's not okay. It is okay. It sucks because it's not my fault. It's his because I asked him to meet me over there.
I just want to tell you that some people have war in their countries.
And I would say that's pretty similar to like what goes on here. We get picked up anywhere from about like 8:45 to sometimes like 12:30. We might have 2 castings a day, we might have 6, 7, you just never really know. And some castings are for selected girls only, so the client will go through our roster, pick the girls that they want to see, and then we'll get to that casting, and then they'll go in, they'll do that, we'll wait, and then they come back out. But I mean, most of the time when we get to a casting, we could be looking at 30 to 50 girls there. There's maybe close to 10 other agencies in Istanbul alone, so I thought coming here it would be hard enough just living with other girls that, you know, are fighting for the same kind of job, but here I am now fighting with like 30 to 50 other girls. It's kind of insane. It's almost like, what is it that sets me apart from everybody else? And you're all just trying to make a good first impression, and you have literally like 2 seconds. Sometimes you don't say anything. It's like a hello, goodbye situation. You come in, you line up, they assess you, they look at your book, they look at your comp card, and then it's like, thank you, but no thank you. It's like, literally, I've walked into castings, been like, okay, and turned around and left. It's interesting, especially when you get to a casting and you've been waiting close to like 45 minutes to an hour to be seen, and then when it's like something so quick and just like one and done, it's not gonna lie, it's pretty painful. And I think the worst feeling in the world is when you walk out of casting feeling you've nailed it, like that's the one, they love me, have it in the bag, and then for you to never ever get a call from them, it's pretty heart-wrenching. But that's kind of how castings and jobs work, or well, that's how castings work. And then in terms of jobs are the most important, I would say, thing for a model. That's how you get paid, that's how you get exposure, that's how you build your book, right? So getting booked for a job is a really great feeling. It's a little bit tough here, I would say. I don't know if it's the same everywhere else, but you'll be told that you got booked for a job maybe a day before, like not even like 24 hours before, maybe a few hours, like 12 hours before, 10 hours before. And there's not much information that's in the email to tell you what exactly it is that you'll be shooting for. It could be beachwear, it could be formal wear, it could be sportswear. That's pretty much all you know. You always are, you know, told to bring your model bag, which should consist of strapless bra, nude underwear, heels, hairbrush, headscarf or something for if you need to take your top off and you don't want to get makeup everywhere, ponytails, things like that. And I'll just give you an example. One of the girls that I live with, Melinda, she got booked for a job for Saturday. Our agent told her on Friday evening that she had a flight that night at 10 p.m. She was maybe told at 5 p.m. So she was going to have to leave for the airport at 8, so that left her like 2-3 hours to pack. She got in the, oh yeah, she wasn't told where she was staying, she wasn't told how she was going to be picked up from the airport, wasn't told anything about the client, was just told that she had a flight and that she was going to be coming home on Friday. And this was like Wednesday, I believe. So everything's so up in the air, and you really can't plan for anything. But yeah, I mean, most of the time it's like you get picked up at the crack of dawn, you arrive for your job, you sit through hair and makeup for an hour or two, maybe 2.5 hours, you shoot all day, offered lunch and a break sometimes, then you go home and it's like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and then you do it all over again the next day. I feel like it really comes down to the photographer too as well. Like if you have a photographer that can get the photo first shot and he's like, or he or she is like, okay, yep, that's perfect, that's the one, then it's quick and easy. But if you have a photographer that you're posing for 30 minutes non-stop for them to get the perfect shot, it's a little bit yeah, it's just very repetitive and it's like very exhausting. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about castings, jobs, housing, the contract. To wrap it up, I'll just talk about the pros and cons that I think come with traveling and working as an international model. I definitely have more pros than I do cons. Oh no, I think it's tied. 3 pros, 3 cons. So we'll start with the pros. Actually no, let's start with the cons. First con is sometimes you feel as if you don't have a voice, or you can't really speak out about things that make you feel uncomfortable, especially with that language barrier. If you're put in a predicament or a position and you're like, you know, I've been told I don't want to photograph nude, sometimes they just like will say, okay, yep, we understand, and then next second, like, there you are, no top on it. Like, I haven't run into a situation, okay, I'm not gonna really get into it right now, but yeah, I've like I've had to not wear a top and stuff, but that was, why is it red? Okay, so yeah, okay, sorry about that. My camera, all of a sudden, I don't know if I ran out of space, so we'll see how much time I have left, but I won't make it too much longer. I was just saying how, yeah, sometimes it can feel like you don't have a voice and that you're kind of just supposed to be a mannequin. You're just supposed to sit there and look pretty, and it can be you can be easily taken advantage of, let's just put it that way. So I would say that for anybody who's interested in getting a modeling, please really consider how it is that you're doing mentally. If you can put yourself through that sort of strain, and go to school as well. Maybe consider modeling after you've done a little bit of school, or study and model at the same time. But don't rely on modeling for end all be all, because it's definitely an environment where it's extremely hard for you not to compare yourself to other people or get caught up in the wrong crowd, because you'll have, you know, people, guys, you know, offering to buy you drinks or take you out to the bars or give you VIP access to things, and yeah, again, like, sometimes it's just like, it's hard to say no. But I would say that without like years of experience, a good head on your shoulders, and some sort of education, it's hard to know what is right from wrong, and you can easily let people kind of walk all over you, and you need to be able to stand your ground. So that's just one of the cons, as well as like the unpredictability that comes with modeling. Is that even a word? Or the uncertainty that comes with modeling. I mean, you could go weeks without working sometimes, so if this is like your main source of income, and you're just starting out, like, be prepared that you could be going weeks, and who knows like when you'll be getting paid. Because, for example, I thought I had given all my bank information. I thought I was going to be paid after each and every job. It's not the case. I get paid at the very end of my contract. Thankfully, you know, I have money saved at home for my rent and all my other expenses, but like, yeah, I'm keeping a Excel spreadsheet of, you know, all of the jobs that I worked, how much I'm supposed to be getting paid, and keeping track of the weekly allowances so I know exactly how much I'm taking home at the end of the day. Yeah, nothing's guaranteed. You need to almost need to be your own agent sometimes. You can't be afraid to reach out to photographers about doing test shoots or going out and taking photos of yourself. Always finding opportunities. Oh, there's a guy. I think you can see me right through my window. It's okay. So being your own sort of agent and not waiting for your agent to book you gigs or get you to work with you know, certain people. Like sometimes you have to go out of your way to get noticed and to act on things. I don't know, like you can't just sit around waiting forever. Sometimes you just need to go out of your way and make things happen. So that's what I do. If I'm on Instagram and I see that, you know, somebody's worked with this really awesome photographer and I like their work, I'll follow them, send them a DM, and I'll just say, hey, if you're ever in need of a model, this is my work, check out my portfolio. I would love to work together sometime. So, and then lastly, a con of mine that's really close to my heart is I feel like modeling just helps to fuel, you know, the consumer market, given to overconsumption in the fast fashion industry. I've talked a little bit about this, and it's really important to me that, you know, talk about it. Maybe I can go more in depth in another video, but for me, and it's very hard for me to explain and talk about, and I feel like sometimes I wish it hadn't taken me having to come all the way to Turkey to realize. But honestly, being the face of a brand that you know absolutely nothing about, so you don't know where the clothes are being made, where they're coming from, you don't know the designer's intentions, you don't know their like priorities and what they really believe in, their morals and their mission statement, their, you know, the supply chain, and don't even know if it's like an inclusive or a diverse corporation or brand company. I feel like that all really does needs to be taken into account. So it's really bright, sorry. And I feel like that's what's tainted my view of modeling the most, to be honest. Just to be paid to be an advertisement, to promote brands that I don't really condemn or I support is the hardest part. And seeing everything literally firsthand here, going right into the depths, seeing clothes and clothes and clothes and clothes and clothes and just like never ending stockpiles of clothes and children working in these conditions, it's like absolutely insane. And I just think it's so important to know like what it means to be a sustainable model and promote things that you actually hear about. And it's just a whole other world here, and I do want to talk more about it, but I think that's what's really holding me back. So that's definitely one of the cons that I find comes with modeling. And then just some of the pros. Number one for me is meeting people from all walks of life, making lifelong friends along the way, and having people to travel with down the road. I think I've been so lucky to meet so many amazing girls, and we, like I said, we're very supportive, oh my god, supportive of one another. We only want what's best for each other, and I'm like the mommy, the mama bear of the group, and I really, really, really love these girls, and I can't wait to see where life takes them. And they're all so young, and they have so much going for them, so it's been really fun to, yeah, just like meet other people. And then another big one is obviously traveling and exploring new places, which, you know, involves different cultures and people, food, but yeah, I don't know what that was, okay, never mind. But yeah, food, people, culture, all that good stuff. Istanbul is a really amazing city. It's beautiful. I think it's honestly so, there's beauty around every single corner. There's always something to do and see. And I think honestly, the one thing I keep telling myself is like, no matter how unpredictable or uncertain things may be, I'm so grateful to say that I'm able to travel and I'm able to see the world. And, if I'm having a bad day, or I get home from a casting, or I get home from a job and I just feel so burnt out, or I just feel like not great, I like will just think to myself, Erin, you're in a whole other part of the world. Just like get out and get some fresh air and just go see what else is out there. Like, don't feel so contained to your tiny room and like what modeling has for you, because like you're so much more than that, right? So yeah. And then last but not least, I would say another pro is definitely discovering yourself and finding out who you are, and yeah, what sets you apart from other people, and what is it that makes you unique. And just, I don't know, I used to be very, very insecure, right? And I feel like we all have things that we would like to change about ourselves and have flaws, and obviously in this environment it's so much more heightened because people are judging you literally from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep. You feel like when you're on a job or at a casting, like everybody is judging you, and it's yeah, it's not easy. But I think, well, I know I've finally been able to accept myself for who I am, and if I go into a job or I go into a casting and they're not interested in working with me, I don't take it personally. Maybe I'm just not what they were looking for that specific, you know, shoot. Whatever, that's fine. There's so many other opportunities out there. Just because I don't get this one doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And they're missing out on working with, you know, a really fun, cute, nice individual, and that's their own problem. But at the same time, when you go in and you just have your book and you just stand and you're just like, you know, a body for them to look at without even really getting to know you, it's not, you know, the same. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I feel like just discovering yourself has been a really big part of this journey. But I think that's pretty much all. I am extremely tired, and it's very hot out today. It's Friday, and I think the girls and I want to do something special tonight, so I'm gonna have something to eat, and then get on with my night. But if you have any other questions, if there's anything you know want to say in particular, please let me know. Hopefully this is like, you know, good information. And if you have any other questions, yeah, make sure to leave them below. But I think I pretty much touched on everything. For the most part, but there's yeah, I could definitely do like a part 2 if you wanted to find out more. And I think that's everything for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video.